Paul Manafort's trial enters week number 2, and all eyes are on his former right-hand man, Rick Gates. Gates, seen as the prosecution's star witness, struck a plea deal back in February and could testify as early as this morning. NBC's national security reporter Ken Dilanian has been covering the trial and joins me now. Okie doke, Rick Gates, why is this testimony so central to the prosecution's case, and what will the defense be doing to try to decimate him?
I'm not sure it's central, Stephanie, but it is very important, and it could also be somewhat dangerous for the prosecution. Look, prosecutors have already put a lot of evidence into before this jury that Manafort committed crimes, including that he parked money in overseas accounts, and they put on an accountant who testified under a grant of immunity and talked about being ordered essentially to commit bank and tax fraud. But what they haven't shown is anybody close to Paul Manafort who can speak to his state of mind, his motives, and Rick Gates can certainly do that. Rick Gates was his wingman. Rick Gates has already admitted participating in these alleged crimes, but here's the danger. He's also admitted that he lied to the FBI while he was negotiating that plea agreement. So the defense is going to do everything they can to paint him as a liar who's just talking to save his skin. And the way prosecutors are going to counteract that is by asking him very hard questions on direct examination, forcing him to confront all his misdeeds before the jury to build his credibility, Stephanie.
Well, they don't have to paint him as a liar. He is one. Walk me through this, because you've noted that Manafort was deep in debt and desperate for a way out when he took the job with the Trump campaign. For me, it blows my mind how a guy who made that much money could blow that much money, but that's not for us to judge. Why is that fact so important in this case?
Yeah, this is actually the most important revelation.
Because remember, he loved to say he took the job for free.
Right.
Wasn't getting
This
paid.
is the most important revelation that's coming out of this trial, Stephanie, in terms of what it could mean for the Russia investigation. Because we knew from the indictment that Manafort was in dire financial straits as of 2016, but this trial has offered startling new details of Manafort's financial collapse. So by 2016, his firm was losing more than $1 million a year. They were having trouble paying their health insurance bills. And he came to work for the Trump campaign, as you said, for free. And here's what else we know. He was in debt to a Russian oligarch named Oleg Deripaska to the tune of $10 million. His close associate, a man named Konstantin Kilimnik, had ongoing ties to Russian intelligence services, according to Robert Mueller. So it really raises the question, how desperate was Paul Manafort when he was working for Trump, and what would he have been willing to do if the Russians put the finger on him? That's the question that this trial is raising, Stephanie.
Desperate times. Did they call for desperate measures? Ken, thanks so much.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.